The first mindset tip I'm going to give you is, you are your patent idea's best and strongest advocate. If there's one idea I want you to take away from this course, this is it. Nobody will fight for your patent like you, and nobody will care about it more than you. That's why you need to understand the basic concepts so you can make the best possible decisions. Don't rely on anyone else to do the work for you, not even your patent attorney. My first patent application was in what's called final rejection status. Basically, the United States Patent Office, or USPTO, was about to reject my application, and I had one final chance to prove that my idea was worthy of a patent. In the end, I was able to get my patent granted, but it would have never happened if I didn't take the initiative to keep fighting for it. Had I just accepted my patent examiner's opinion and given up, that would have been the end of the road for my patent application. Patents are hard to get. The USPTO doesn't just hand them out, and for good reason. Patents are powerful. They give independent inventors a chance to compete in the market with larger companies who have infinitely more resources. While executing your patent application is technically the job of your patent attorney, you need to be the champion and driver of that cause. The next mindset tip is to understand that patenting is a business. You need to see this process as a commercial venture. Your patent is the end product. It's what you're going to sell. Most first-time inventors only focus on the end product. But equally, if not more important, is how you plan on selling that product. And that's the commercial side of patenting that many independent inventors ignore and don't want to deal with. While you're developing your product, it's vital that you're also thinking about what your target market is and where you'll sell your product. Again, nobody's going to do it for you, so you have to get over any fears you might have about sales and marketing, because you need to be willing to pitch, sell, and advocate for your product. Even if you don't plan on taking the product to market yourself, you may have no other choice in the beginning, so you want to get comfortable with the idea of selling. If sales and marketing are totally out of the question for you, you need to partner with someone who's willing to take on that part of the business. Maybe you have a friend that's a killer salesperson and believes in what you're doing. You might give them a percentage of the business if they're willing to commit to doing the work. One thing I learned along my journey is to never underestimate the importance of sales and marketing. As I said earlier, how you sell your product is just as important as what you're actually selling. Keep an open mind. There are many roads to monetizing your idea. In business, there are all kinds of deals and partnerships you can make to get your idea to market. Don't let lack of money stop you from moving forward either. If you can get other people to believe in you and your idea, you'll be able to find the money through loans, partnerships, or investors. I used to believe in the quote from the movie Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. But the reality is that unless you actively market your invention, nobody's going to know about it. So if you build a great product and market it well, you have a better chance of finding people who will understand and support your vision. If your idea has commercial potential, somebody, somehow will want to join you for the ride. But you have to let them know you exist, or they'll never find you and never be able to work with you. The next mindset tip I want to offer you is that patents don't guarantee riches, they only guarantee rights. While patents are incredibly powerful and give you the opportunity to have a monopoly on your product, you still need to do the hard work to convince people to buy it. When you create something new, you have to educate the market. Convincing the world to switch to something new, no matter how much better it is always challenging. Most people like to think that they're open-minded and progressive. But the reality is that most of us, me included, don't like new things because most of us don't really like change. And we don't like change because change requires a time investment to learn something new. So if you come up with something new and novel, prepare to educate your customers, prepare to teach the world why they should make the switch to your product, and invest the time and energy necessary to make that switch. A patent will help protect your idea, but it won't do the selling for you, so prepare to sell. The next mindset tip is, good ideas get copied. In business, competitors copy each other's ideas all the time. That's why Apple and Samsung are always in court suing each other. When you expect and prepare for the worst, you'll be less underprepared when it actually happens. Notice I said less underprepared, because nothing will ever fully prepare you for when somebody copies your idea, but expecting it will help soften the blow. The reality is that business is hard. Your competitors are not going to welcome you with open arms. No matter how friendly they may seem at trade shows or conferences, their goal is to either put you out of business to protect their market share or to acquire your intellectual property so they can leverage it for their benefit. That sounds cynical, but that's just the way business is. Think about it. If you were an established business, would you want to just hand your customers over to a new competitor? Probably not, right? I learned about these realities the hard way when I found out that a well-established company in my industry blatantly copied my idea, down to the origin story of why I invented it. My experience proves that patents don't actually prevent others from copying your idea. They merely give you the right to take legal action against anyone that does. While patents are extremely powerful and absolutely worth getting, you need to see them for what they really are. Think about it like the speed limit. Speed limit signs don't actually stop us from speeding. Laws don't stop behaviors, they just make certain behaviors illegal. So while infringing on a patent may be illegal, anyone can do it. The good news is that most people and companies don't like getting sued and wasting time in court. The bad news is that there are some who are willing to do it if they think the benefit outweighs the cost. So if you have a good idea, expect that somebody will try to knock it off. It's just part of the game. The biggest brands in the world have to deal with it, and you will too. While it's frustrating, you can also see infringement as validation of your idea. From the beginning of time, good ideas have always been copied. Just focus on making the best product possible, getting it to market as quickly as you can, and building a loyal customer base by serving your audience well. Even if your idea is patented or in patent pending status, you may have to deal with infringers or copycats along the way. I'm not telling this to scare you, I'm telling this to prepare you. Now that I've told you to expect your idea to be copied, the next tip might seem to contradict that, and that is, you can't keep your patent idea a secret forever. To evaluate an idea, you need outside feedback, and to get feedback, you need to share your ideas. There's just no way around it. A lot of first-time inventors are very paranoid that their ideas will be stolen, so they never share them. That means that they can never get that honest and useful feedback that they need. While it's important to protect your ideas, it's vital to get outside opinions so you can see if other people agree with you. Outside feedback can also help you improve your idea and expose weaknesses that you didn't notice. Later in the course, I'll show you how to share your idea in a safe way so you can get that much needed feedback. The next mindset tip is, patenting is a long process. Another myth about patenting is that all you need is a good idea and the world will come knocking at your door. The truth is, patenting is a long and arduous process. You will have setbacks. But if you've determined that your idea is viable and take it day by day, you have good reason to keep moving forward. Patenting is a marathon, and you're just at the start. It took me about 2 years to get from idea to functional prototype to a production model that was ready to be sold on the market. There's a reason why patents last for 20 years. U.S. patent law recognizes how long the process takes and in turn gives inventors plenty of time to try and profit from it. The next mindset tip is that patenting is not a get-rich-quick game. Be very suspicious of anyone who tries to oversimplify the process and tell you that it's easy. Scammers prey on the hopes and dreams of inventors who think that their idea might be the next big hit. So you need to approach any sort of invention consultant, advisor, or invention promotion company very cautiously. Once they convince you to work with them, they're more interested in keeping you as a paying customer rather than getting your product to market, and you need to understand that. Just know that many of these so-called professionals are out to take advantage of you, and they do it by playing on your hopes and dreams. The next mindset tip I have for you is no matter how good your idea is, getting a licensing deal is not easy, and I wouldn't trust anyone who tells you otherwise. Some invention consultants will try to tell you that licensing is easy. Just think of a great idea, tell a Fortune 500 company about it, and in a few weeks you'll be sitting in their offices making a deal. The reality is that companies are not going to take a phone call, much less a meeting, with an independent inventor they know nothing about. Most companies won't consider licensing your idea unless you have a well-established track record or a strong sales history. They want products that are already selling so they can scale those products for the mass market. They have very little interest in developing and launching a product from zero because they're already busy doing that with their own products, and it takes a lot of work. In some cases, larger companies will invite inventors to show them their inventions just to see what kinds of ideas are out there. Also, think about how embarrassing it would be for a major company with a product development team to admit that they had to look outside of their organization for new ideas. So the hard truth is that unless you get incredibly lucky, you're going to have to prove that there's a demand for your invention, which means that you will probably have to generate some initial sales. Remember the first mindset tip where I said that you are your patent's best and strongest advocate? Well, this is a great example of that. So don't expect anyone to do the hard work for you. I'm telling you this so you can be mentally prepared for selling your product. I just want to pause here to say that my goal in giving you those mindset tips was not to discourage you, but to give you a real sense of what you're about to get into. And now that I've done that, I want to give you some tips to help encourage and uplift you, because while the journey is hard, it's definitely worth it. The next mindset tip is one of the most important, and that is give yourself permission to do this. I know that some of you struggle with thoughts like, I'm not smart enough to do this, or this is too complicated for me, or I'm not a scientist or an engineer, I don't have the credentials for this, and that's normal. We all have imposter syndrome and suffer from a lack of confidence from time to time. And I can say from my own experience that while I was eventually able to successfully get a patent, and I can now approach the entire process with confidence, it wasn't always that way. When I started out, there were so many times where I felt so stupid because I didn't know the proper terminology or I couldn't answer what I now consider basic questions. But you just have to learn as you go and accept that you might come off as less than intelligent at times. Just focus on your higher purpose, which is to change the lives of people with your product and change your own life by bringing something new into the world. And it doesn't have to be something profound like the cure for cancer. It just has to be something that will help people get a result that they're looking for. The reality is, you're doing something most people only talk about, but never actually put into action. Most of the people that try to diminish you, laugh you off, or tell you that you're crazy, well, they secretly admire you for what you're doing, because they could never have the courage or give themselves the permission to be on the journey that you're on right now. So if you haven't fully given yourself the permission you deserve, let me give you permission right now to give yourself permission. The final mindset tip I want to leave you with is that getting a patent is worth it. If you actually took the time to think of a novel, original, and useful idea, and there's a market for it, you have every reason to pursue a patent. Coming up with an idea that's actually useful and original is no small accomplishment, considering there are nearly 8 billion other people on this planet who could have come up with your idea, but they didn't, and you did, and that's worth a lot. A patent will give you a virtual monopoly on making and selling your product, licensing it, or even selling it outright, all of which can make you very wealthy if you play the game right. And obviously, it's not just about the money. It's about following your vision and all the lessons you'll learn along the way. It's about sharing your art, the discoveries you've made through your hard work, so the rest of the world can benefit from it. So if you have a great idea, keep moving forward. The right person will recognize it when you least expect. So let's quickly recap these mindset tips. Number 1, you are your patent idea's strongest and best advocate. Nobody's going to care more about it than you, so you have to fight for it more than anyone. Number 2, patenting is a business. Your invention is what you'll be selling, but equally important is how you're going to sell it. Number 3, patents don't guarantee riches, they only guarantee rights. A patent will help protect your idea, but it won't do the selling for you. Number 4, good ideas get copied. Remember, this is a business, and competitors compete with each other by copying. Number 5, you can't keep your idea a secret forever. Outside feedback is critical in evaluating your idea and making it better, so you'll eventually have to share your idea with others. Number 6, patenting is a long process. You've just signed up for a marathon, so you need to be prepared to run a marathon. Marathons have ups and downs and are mentally and physically exhausting. That's why I'm giving you these mindset tips. They're going to help you stay on track when things get tough. Number 7, patenting is not a get-rich-quick game, and anyone who tells you it is, well, they're lying to you. Same goes for licensing. Licensing is not easy, and it takes a lot of work. Number 8, give yourself permission to do this. You don't need to be an expert or have special credentials to pursue your patent idea. You just need to have an idea that's useful and solves a problem. And finally, patents are worth it because they offer you protection in the marketplace like nothing else can. Patents make it illegal for others to swoop in and steal your ideas after you've done all the hard work to develop them. Bonus mindset tip, don't give up if you have a good idea. Like I keep saying, the process is long and difficult. I filed for my patent in 2012, but it wasn't granted until 2017. During those 5 years, I spent so much time and money developing both my product and my business, betting that my patent would eventually be granted, which was never a guarantee. but I knew that if I could successfully patent my idea, I'd have an asset that may one day have a lot of potential. If you believe in your invention because you've proven to yourself that you have a viable idea, you'll find a way forward if you're persistent. In inventing, there's a certain amount of risk involved. You may have a low tolerance for risk, so ultimately, the choice to pursue a patent is a very personal one. Whatever you decide to do, the framework I'm going to teach you later in the course, the Invention Idea Processor, will help reduce your risk and keep you from spending any money until you absolutely have to. If you determine that your idea is still viable after this course, you have every reason to keep pushing forward, if you're comfortable with it. Ultimately, the choice is yours. So now that we've set expectations for you and have you in the right frame of mind about how to approach your patent journey, it's time to teach you all about the rules of the game. So I'll see you in the next module, which is all about trade secrets, patents, and NDAs.